In this video, I will do example 7 demand function word problem. So the manager of a 100-unit apartment complex knows that all the units will be occupied if the rent is $400 per month. A survey suggests that on average, one additional unit will remain vacant for each $5 increase in rent. What should the manager charge to maximize revenue? So let's kind of make this make sense. So the manager of a 100-unit apartment complex knows that all the units will be occupied if the rent is $400 per month. So if he charges rent for 400, we all know that all of the apartments will be occupied. What we want to do, what we want to do is maximize the amount. We want to maximize. We're trying to figure out how much should we charge for rent to maximize profit. That's what we're trying to do. And then it says that a survey suggests that an average one additional unit will remain vacant for each $5 increase. So as you increase the rent, people won't no longer rent the apartments. So yeah, we're trying to figure out what is the perfect amount of rent should we charge so we can profit to find the maximum profit, right? So first, what I'm going to do is find the demand function. So how do you find the demand function? It is P of x equals mx plus b. So we don't have m or b, we have coordinates. And the first, let's try to label our coordinates. So x will be the number of units, and y will be the price in dollars. Okay, so the first piece of information, it says 100 units will be occupied if the rent is $400. So our first coordinate would be 100 units, and then our price is $400. If there was a $5 increase, one unit will remain vacant. So that means if they charge it for 405, right? If the rent for 405, one unit will be decreased. So instead of 100 units occupied, 99 units will be occupied, and the rent of price will be 405. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is find my m. So I'm going to label as x1, y1, x2, y2, right? So my m is going to be 405 minus 400, and then x2 is 99 minus x1. Okay, so 405 minus 400 is 5. 99 minus 100 is -1, so that is -5. Okay, so it's going to be p of x. Now what I'm going to do is to find my b, I'm going to pick a point. I'm just going to pick this point. You can use the other one, it'll get the same results. So I'm going to replace p of x with 400. Replace my x with 100. Okay, so this would be -500. Solve for b, so I'm going to add 500. And my b value is 900. Okay, so your demand function is p of x equals to -5x plus 900. Okay, so we found the profit. I mean, not profit. We found the demand function. Now let's find our revenue function. So how do you find revenue? It's revenue equals x times p. So it's going to be x times your demand function, which is this whole thing. That would be negative 5x squared plus 900x. Okay, then, so this is your revenue function. Now, how do you find, what we're trying to do is find the maximum revenue. So you have to first take r prime and put it to 0, right? So let's do that. R prime is negative 10x to the power of 1. And the derivative of 900x is 900. Okay, go ahead and set this to 0. And continue solving for x. So I'm going to subtract 900. Okay, so solve for x, divide this by negative 10, divide this by negative 10, and you get x equals 90 apartments. So this is the largest amount of apartments you should sell in order to get the most maximum revenue, right? So now let's find the maximum revenue. So that you just plug in 90 into your revenue function. So plug in 90 into this function right here. Okay, so this should be your largest amount. Okay, let's just double check. Like, I'm just curious. What if we really did? What if we sold, rented out 100 apartment complex? Wouldn't that make better sense to give you a larger revenue? Let's see. So if you plug in 100, you get negative 5 times. So you only make a profit of 40,000. So this, yeah, so 90. So you this won't do. I mean, if you sold 0, you'll get 0. Wait, so the question states, what should the manager charge to maximize revenue? So they're not asking you how much apartment they should rent or what is the maximum revenue. They're asking you what is the largest amount of rent the manager should charge for each person in order to maximize revenue. So this, I did this just to make sure that at 90 apartments, you're going to get the most maximum profit. Now we got to figure out what is the, how much should we charge for rent to get this amount of revenue. So you're going to plug in 90 back into your demand function. So go ahead and plug in 90 into your demand function, this one right here. And you get a rent of 450. So in order to maximize revenue, you should only rent out 90 apartment complex at a rent of 450. So let me write this in complete sentence. If I charge 450 for rent, I will occupy 90 apartment 90 apartment complex. Which will maximize my revenue. Okay, so that's what they want. Okay, I'm going to stop here.